All right. And it appears we are live. What's up, everybody? It is G Mr. Drew here to welcome you to another episode of the Andrew Glowczewski Experience. We just we just crossed the 300 episode threshold, so there's going to be episode 301. We're going to continue the Bayonetta study, and yeah, on this one, since I don't know how I want to break down the front of this design yet, or what I'm going to be doing with these two squares over here, I wanted to really break down the braids in the back and kind of do them a little bit more justice. I actually really like the effect that's happening here because I think it's the craziness that you actually get, the texture, whenever you braid hair. I used to braid my hair when I was in high school and stuff like that. And yeah, man, they have this really cool texture, the way that the light hits them, and then you get all like these like clumps and lumps and all this other stuff. So I really like that effect, but I could see how it's a little bit dirty, a little bit not like cool, or like really all that understandable. And so I wanted to break it down really big, kind of spread it out a bit too, so that way it's almost like a straight up uh, whatever, and yeah, have it go across these four squares right here, and yeah, that's gonna be it, man. Let's just do it. I don't know how much of her we're gonna see, so since this got it kind of breaking off at the top of her head. Here's her neck, and then shoulders, and the hair stops pretty much at her knees. So if her knees were here, this would kind of just be like her hips. All right. So yeah, I don't know how much of her body we're actually gonna see, but yeah, let's not get too much detail in before I jack it up like I did on the last time I drew from the back, drawing all the body details. There we go. And here we go. How do I want to break this down? Ah, okay. So one, two, and back here. Okay, and they're gonna be 7 in total, so I gotta add 2 more here and here. So this one kind of break off this way, and this one same thing. right? And same thing, we want to get 2 more on this side. Do we have the whole thing in the shot? I could probably drop the camera a little bit. All right.
It does feel like a real character now.
Doesn't it? It does. Yeah. It really does.
Corey says,
Okay.
I'm like Meredith.
Sorry, I was just checking something out.
Unsubscribed.
Wow, a lot of this is breaking off
Like my
this
infomercial
way.
commercial.
What I'm doing is looking at this original reference, because this is basically what I'm copying. I'm just doing it a lot bigger since this was broken up into 7. I'm going to break the braids up the same way. Just the little pigtail end, like these things where they're tied off and whatever. I'm kind of directing them in the same direction that the tips of the hair is this way, just to give it a little bit of life and a little bit of flow, you know, so that way it's not so boring.
Because he's got a shirt on. Pencil. Okay, so.
So there's 1, and then
my nail chest.
and 2. So yeah, the braids will come from here.
So there we go. I'll give it a bit of a cast shadow from the head, just to give it something. I'm not gonna draw the head, but there you go. Pretend there's a head.
And yeah, let's
Give it some line.
how's the middle of it goes? So you see this hair kind of waves. So it kind of
Unfortunately, I need to make this.
almost has this S pattern.
Some rendering, so there's
So
in the way.
so sway left and then to the right.
So I'm gonna render it quite a bit.
So this kind of goes left and then to the right. And this will go left
So anyway, there we go. It's
and
rendered.
to the right.
There's only so much you can do on your chest.
And then obviously the braids kind of break off at the bottom of her skull back here, the back of her skull. This is where they kind of like start and break off. So since we have that marked here, and just for the sake of perspective, since we have this in the middle, I'll make this the front braid, and then the rest of them are going to flow off of that.
And it takes a little bit of time, but if you really want it to look right, this is how it's done.
So here's this one.
Because you can just throw these in.
It'll
you
go
can have something that
left
looks
and
like that.
then to the right, and then break off.
Another row, and as I'm moving away toward the light, I can start to thin them out a little bit.
Let me see. Yeah, and then they all just kind of flow that way. So I can get the middle. I can get, since this is done,
And then I just treat it like
this will
rendering.
flow
Really.
left.
And I'm starting to actually go a little thinner than or a little looser than I would like.
And this will flow left.
That's really all it is. If I had a shoulder, I would just follow along.
And what about these two?
Form, I would just follow along.
They kind of start going in the opposite direction. So it's right, then left, then back to the right. Right, left, right, right. Okay.
But you can see, that's really all there is to it. You can put that over any kind of rendering that you have on there, and it really doesn't
Right,
look
right,
like it kind of meshes together.
right. And then, yeah, this one. Kind of have that. And I remember there was like 7 main braids before it broke out, got big to the eighth braid where it kind of started. And then by the time it hit 9 and 10, it was just the hair dangling off the top of her head.
Also, I might not be paying attention to.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah. You're the
8,
dulcet
9.
tones.
Okay.
Music to my ears. Okay, so hold on. Scrolling up here. There
So-
is Xander Malcolmson is struggling right now because he doesn't feel
not being inspired to draw, first of all, I think it's a real mistake to beat yourself up for that, because we all don't feel inspired to draw. I don't think, is there anyone, any of you guys that are watching that is always like, yeah, I want to draw right now?
One,
You know?
two,
I mean, there are times I really want to do it. I love drawing. I love my job. I don't always want to do it.
3,
So
4,
you know,
5,
the
6,
the thing you do need to be
7,
willing to do though is
8,
be
9.
disciplined about setting a schedule and drawing when you have that schedule. It's like working out, which I've been terrible at, but I'm terrible at it because I just refuse to do what I need to do. And set a schedule and
3,
just
4.
be religious about it.
There we go.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry that you don't feel inspired all the time. No one does. But you know, you do have to. It's a sacrifice. Now, in terms of paper, I'm going to tell you that it does not matter what kind of paper you use, which is not entirely true. It does matter. Some paper can be such a massive hassle to erase on. Like cheaper paper, it's a headache. But that only matters when you're doing
All right.
final pencils that you like. If you're doing samples, you
3,
need a few pages
4,
to do samples.
5,
But when you're learning, you don't need to be like I always draw on this stuff,
6,
which you know. I can write it off my taxes as part of it. And it's not terribly
and
expensive,
9
but
breaks off.
really, I don't need this stuff. I could perfectly well sketch, and I really should be sketching on cheaper paper.
2,
Because it doesn't actually really make my sketches better. So I would say if you can't afford the right paper, just reserve that paper for times when you're really doing samples. You want something that, you know, is really going to show your work at its best. And you'd be amazed at how easy it is to work on the right paper.
2,
But it
3,
won't actually make a
4,
difference in the quality of your
5,
sketching. So don't worry about it.
7,
Just use the paper you got. I drew on the
8.
cheapest trash when I was learning how to draw. It was incredibly difficult to draw on. And actually, I didn't start using the proper pencils. Proper pencil really would be like a 2H, and that's always with the understanding that you're working on this kind of paper. If you're not, if you're working on cheaper paper, a 2H would drive you up the wall because it's such a hard lead. It'll just dig into the page. So you always have to kind of take it with, you know, it's situational, right? I started working with 2H when I started working professionally. I started working on the right paper. Before that, I worked with HB, and I didn't know any better. So, and it worked. You know, I mean, I got work. In the end, I wish things were the way they were when I started. I really do, for all of our sakes, because there were publishers that were growing and were willing to teach and willing to grow talent, and that's just not really necessarily the case as much as it once was. I think it is to a certain extent, but when I got work, it was much more on spec. You know, it was like you think this guy could turn out, give it a shot. I don't think they didn't hire me thinking, hey, this is publishable now. Which was an advantage I got in, right? But the disadvantage was that I went through torture when I got in. I wasn't ready, and the watching, and a lot of people didn't make it. And I think that's the reason why is you had some of the best artists in the world in that room drawing, and you come in, and it was really, really difficult.
Okay. 1, 2,
To reconcile, and
3,
you know, some
4.
people couldn't handle it. I had trouble for sure. I'm rambling, so say something.
Right. Tecmo Modelworks has a super chat for $5. Tech says, "Hey, Tina, I'm sorry I'm late. I recently got a Hulk 181. Love those two fighting. Thanks for all you guys do."
Thank you so much, Dagamo. And thank you for mentioning the issue number, which you weren't here. I couldn't remember what issue it was, the first cover. And the reference that I downloaded to be able to do this, to look at for reference, it's in issue 1 because it's a reprint. So that didn't help. So thank you.
Greg Alstadagart has a super chat for $5. Greg says, "I'm finally off. Dave, your hair video was very helpful. How would you draw white hair like Storm from X-Men?" You still shade it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you do it any differently. You leave it for the colorist. Like it would be no different than blonde hair.
Yeah, white hair and blonde hair would definitely be the same. That would be in the colors.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
do it
6.
exactly the same. basically, and it's just,
7,
you guys don't have to search
and
up the
yeah,
video.
8 kind of wiggles out.
Well, hey, at 10 o'clock, I'm walking upstairs.
So here's my.
And I'm just emphasizing some lines here, just because this is where the hair breaks up, so that way I don't get it lost in all the body lines that I made behind it.
Start with a part right here, and I want it to be basically like this, and then the other side is going to be like this. So let me erase and clean up my drawing a little bit. And so what I want to do is I know that I'm drawing basically a band that comes over. So if I was looking underneath, this is what's kind of covered.
2,
Makes sense?
3,
You're looking, it's a flat band. And so all of my
4,
hair is like that all the way through. So I'm kind of connecting. And I can imagine that under here, you wouldn't see it, but it would be the back of the flat band here too. So that's a big part of it. And
there we go.
and then I really like a line of beauty.
So that way we can see them,
Flowing line going into a
see them
shorter,
separate.
Curve, long curve going into a
1,
shorter curve.
2,
And I use that all over the place in my
3,
hair. But then
4,
I'll just put a little line weight here,
5,
little line weight here.
6, 7.
See, I've got a long curve here, so I'm just going the opposite way. It just completes it nicely. Such a great base. So that's really all, and maybe a little bit of line weight in here. But I really want this to be an overall shape. I don't want to draw too many lines all the way through it.
All right.
I can add a little bit of detail.
I really like it because the breaks are happening are kind of in flow too. There's going to be some interesting results. That's why I want to keep the braids the same size. So that way, like when I was drawing this one, I wasn't too concerned about making sure the braids were all the same size or whatever. I was just kind of like drawing them in. But yeah, these, since I'm laying them out, I'm really going to want to kind of do them some justice.
Especially which blade. I should also point out the image blew my mind as a child in the 90s.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't believe it when I saw it the first time. And yeah, I knew Michael very well. He sat right beside me. He came in 2 months after I did. He started just 2 months after, and the studio was already pretty cool. We had a lot of people there, and so I was sitting facing out because I was at first, so I got the nicer spot. And he was all the way in the corner with the door behind him, and the door would constantly open and crawl into the back of his chair. And he was sitting facing me, so like right there, yeah. So yeah, we were good friends. I knew him for a long time.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat right now. Oh, pardon me. Jimmy Reyes comes back and wants to be filled in on what he missed. Life, Jimmy.
We have to have Jimmy on from time again.
We do.
I miss Jimmy.
You haven't talked to Jimmy in forever.
I have.
Still don't have my T-shirt.
I have actually talked to him. We talked on the phone last week.
Could you?
But it would be nice to have him on the show.
Still don't have my T-shirt. Just saying. Have a T-shirt from Tyler Wright. Yep. Tyler Kirkham.
Shoot.
Have a T-shirt from him.
I was gonna wear I've got 2 T-shirts from Tyler.
Next week.
Very good. Yeah, next week I'll wear it. I meant to wear it. Actually, I've been meaning to wear it this whole time because I've had it for a few weeks now. And, next week. Oh yes. And by the way, this is all for Tyler's character Master Vigilante. Those are the shirts that I got, and it's for his comic that he has out on Indiegogo. I think the campaign's finished, but I'm sure you can still find a way to find a book.
Oh, you can always get a book, even when the campaign's done. Everybody always has extras.
Okay. Yeah, you know what I like about Jimmy?
What do you like about Jimmy?
He's somebody you can have him on. He doesn't even have to draw anything. He's just there. And he's just a lot of fun to listen to.
Jimmy's fun.
Great guest.
Aries Fenrir wants to know, Aries Fenrir, how do you avoid hurting your wrist or your hand when you're drawing in the long run? And your back. A lot of artists have bad backs.
Yeah, my back isn't terrible, but and like I'm fine right now. But I do find if I sit in my chair the way that I am right now all the time, my back starts to really doesn't hurt so much. It's a discomfort. So I sit on the couch, lay back, just laying on the couch, and I've got a drawing board, and I draw that way all the time. In terms of my hand, that's why I've got tape on my pencil. I press too hard with the pencil. I don't seem to press too hard with my inks because they don't really work the same way. So it hasn't been an issue. I actually did put tape on inking tools at first, and then I realized, you know what, I don't need them, so I don't do that. But it's definitely a factor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Go like that. Okay. I'm just gonna go for it. If it doesn't work, it's gonna be there anyway.
Do you think realistically you'll be able to finish this in two episodes?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of work left. There, Dee Dee? No problem. 2 5-hour episodes should be enough time.
There we
It's
go.
going fast.
Is it? What do I know?
I gotta be honest, I think it's going fast. Maybe it's not, but I've been stopping to do because it's actually been really, you know, wait, I got to gotten some good questions, so I'm gonna stop for a bit.
Anthony G says, "Oh, Meredith Finch, ye of little faith." It's true. You think I would have faith in you because I've watched you draw for
There we go.
so many years I can't count them.
Yeah, well, it's 9:26 now. I'm gonna just come clean here and say,
Just have our arms doing
you
something,
won't be
right?
No, I figured you wouldn't be like I didn't think you'd be wrapping at 9:30,
No.
but I figured 10.
Well, I'm gonna end up wrapping at 10 because we have to.
Yes, because Dave needs to be on the schedule.
Because I can't afford to sleep all day again and lose another day where I'm like,
Okay.
I can't believe it. A day just went and I got nothing done. Yeah, I think to how many times have I said this to you guys? I stay up late and I get extra work done. And I'm great. I just got ahead of my schedule a little bit. I know Dan is got to be going through this. Dan DeSantis is going through this right now. He is so busy with stuff. And you stay up late and that's great. You make up a little bit of time, but it doesn't work long term. You end up paying for it. You lose that time, you're miserable. I came upstairs today, I was grumpy.
You were just unpleasant.
Yeah.
I mean, then we went outside, and you always end up better after you go outside.
A little fresh air.
Really, clears the cobwebs, doesn't it?
It does. Also, by the way, Far Cry 6. Hate it.
Not Dave's favorite game.
I quit
But
today.
I'm loving that game.
Oh, I'm so mad. I can't say it. Look, whatever. I hate it personally. It's dark half the time. All night it's dark. And there's no lights. You run through the forest and there's no lights anywhere. It's just dark. I said to Meredith, look at this. This is my game right now.
He ran off the cliff a couple times.
I can't see anything. Like nothing. I'm so frustrated. And you're walking because you get into a car, it's all first person. Trying to drive a car through jungle, first person. Yeah.
There we go.
Weren't you
1,
riding a
2, 3,
horse?
4, 5,
Yeah,
6,
a horse too,
7.
but either way, a horse is a little
And
better, it
then-
seems like. But
I
Yeah.
think that horse would be smart enough not to run off the cliff.
it was actually, I managed to, it stopped, and then I tried to turn, it stopped, and then I
You
actually,
forced it off the
I
cliff.
wasn't trying to, I was trying to turn around.
He was trying to be a good horse.
Yeah,
Your seeing eye horse.
yeah, I know, it was.
That's why
It was
horses.
help for me.
Why horses are better than cars. Kevin Mandeville has a super chat for $19.99. Kevin says, David, are you still working on that massive piece that you started working on this summer? The layout with the different artists' work on it? Second question, who is your favorite Canadian superhero not named Wolverine? Kevin, no.
Thank you very much, first of all, Kevin. I am still working on that, actually. the person that I'm doing it for had contacted a little bit people and said, how's it coming along? So yeah, I need to get that one going. All right, you know what? For your sake, look, bear in mind, I drew all the characters in this time. Like a lot of times, I'll just leave the character as nothing and then do it, so it will be fine. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Who's your
6,
favorite superhero?
8.
I'm gonna zoom in a bit. My favorite Canadian superhero is Captain Wolverine. Yeah, Captain Canuck, sure, but I'm thinking.
I didn't know you had a bunch of Captain Canuck stuff up.
Yeah,
That was your
I love
favorite.
Captain Canuck. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go with Captain. What is bugging me right now is I'm drawing a blank thinking of there's Vindicator, there's like there's the Alpha Flight. All right. Ooh. Too much. Okay, that should be good. All right.
Wait, Sheldon Martin has a super chat for $4.99. Sheldon says, I watched the Silvestri and Wool Witchblade panel. It mentioned Michael brought his new girlfriend to Top Cow. She was one of the Wilson Phillips singer.
Yeah. Wasn't Wendy Wilson was the other one? I don't know. She was very nice.
The petite blonde one?
I think she had red hair.
Oh, the red haired one, yeah.
Yeah, he dated her for a little while. I remember she was around for a bit.
Go Michael Turner.
Yeah,
That guy had just panache.
he did.
He was confident. He was just confident.
He was a great dresser. He was a good-looking guy, and he just had a very engaging personality. And he was a great artist.
Total package. Just like you, baby.
I bet.
Yeah, total package.
Why you should never get married.
You don't like when I say nice things about you. I should say more nice things about
Okay.
you. How to upset Dave in 10 seconds or less. I love you. Did it work? Are you rolling your eyes? Are you gritting your teeth?
I'm just gone.
Ignoring you right now.
Me too.
Stop it. Oh, Anthony G says, I'm frankly surprised you didn't say Deadpool.
Yeah, there you go.
Is Deadpool Canadian?
Yeah, Deadpool's Canadian.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know much.
yeah, Deadpool's great.
There you go. Well, everybody agrees with me. Dave Finch is the hashtag total package, says Sheldon Martin. One Mighty Hour says Dave's a total package.
You guys are too nice. Stop it.
And we're embarrassing him. Ross Klein. Hi, Dave and Meredith. I'm trying to draw a bracer, which is a wrist bracelet, and I'm ruining the wrist. Any tips?
Let me see.
All right, let's get this last one.
Zoomed in. Let me, here, I'm just gonna draw on the back of this. Okay. So, here's my arm. Here's my wrist.
There we go.
And you can imagine the
There's
wrist
that.
having like a
I just looked at the reference image before I started these, and I noticed they made like the braids kind of heart-shaped. So I said, all right, let me kind of loosely throw that in there, so that way there's that going on for it.
So your wrist, this is the worst drawing. Let me try and fix this a little bit.
And yeah,
So your wrist is up here. You have a bit of a, I'm not going to try and show you my own hand here.
so 1, 2, 3, 4,
So it shouldn't really conflict because your wrist should bend underneath
6,
it here.
7.
From the side. So here's my hand.
So there's
I'm
1,
going to draw this
2,
kind of a
3,
thing here.
4, 5,
Won't even really be a factor here, but that's where it would go.
7.
So here's my fingers. My thumb, which,
Okay.
but your eraser ends here. So imagine, here's your bone that would connect the So it shouldn't really conflict with the hand. You don't want it to go directly up against the hand.
Dum, dum, dum.
Um, from the inside, these could be so much better right now. You have to tell. So,
Whew. All right.
so yeah, here would be your wrist,
There's a lot of drawing tonight. What I get 4 streams in tonight?
and the brace would be up here.
Or this is the
So,
4th
I
one?
don't really see the
And
issue
making good
with your
time?
hands at all. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be an issue. And if it is, what you're doing is you're trying to draw it down to here and then straight and stick your hand out of that, and it's more of an anatomical issue.
I'm kind of,
than a bracer. So if it stops here, you can see I have full end of my wrist, and it's not going to end up here.
really
So
wanting to do
it's
more,
of an
so
anatomical issue, I would think.
gotta do what I got to do's.
Done. Yeah, let's have to Warner.
Scrolling through the stream. All right, Greg Mintz has a super chat for $4.99, but I don't see comment. Greg, what was your comment/question?
And in the meantime, thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. Hey, Jimmy's trying to embarrass you. He says, "We love you, Dave." He wants people to name their pets after you know.
Not commenting.
Well, I don't see a question yet from Greg, but I will keep my eye out for one. So now, I'm going to hit the end of the stream, which means it's time for Meredith's small talk. What would you like Meredith's small talk question to be tonight, Dave? Oh, Artifact's mom says, "Bye for now. God bless you."
God bless you. Thank you for coming.
Adrian Anders wants to know, "Hey, Mr. Finch, could you explain why it was so important for the character design of superheroes that their symbol was placed on their chest?"
That is a good question.
Because you want to know who's coming, and it's the biggest place to put it
It is the biggest
to make
place.
it the most obvious.
Yeah.
And again, as you said, you don't draw comics from like characters from behind.
Yeah, well, you
Just
would put it
from-
on their back, but I think the other obvious place would be on the shoulder, which would be more like how the military would do things. So that could make sense. But yeah, the chest gives you a nice big. That's the most real estate you're going to get on the body. So I would say it just kind of makes sense. You know, it'd be really interesting to be able to talk to the designers of Superman, Siegel and Schuster, and get some of their thoughts on where they got some of their ideas. Like, I gather that some of it comes from like strongmen at the time, that kind of a bodysuit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fix this weird shape on his arm.
All right. The next question that I was going to read was, as I got distracted, Sheldon Martin says, "Welcome to Small Talk with Meredith Finch." There is no end now. We still have 20 minutes left. Meredith Finch, Small Talk for 20 minutes. Alan Moda Art says,
All right.
"Thank you, Meredith. I just got asked to ink a full comic. Should I get a contract or is it too much? Is that too much? I'm just getting paid is a better option. Thanks."
They actually need a contract more than you to make sure that you don't try and claim ownership of their character. You just need to make sure you get paid, and the best way to do that is to not allow them. Don't do the whole thing and then expect to get paid.
Do 5 pages, upload them, and wait to get paid.
Yeah, work on a schedule. You know, it's very difficult to get somebody to agree to prepaying for something, and it's a real mistake to prepay an artist, generally speaking. We have done it actually, and had no trouble because we were working with an artist that is great. We knew we could trust, but generally people won't do that. You have to do the work and then you get paid. I mean, that's how it works. very, very common. And there are times when you'll be asking yourself, hey, is it? They're not willing to do that. They want to make sure they get the money for the comic before they can pay, and you have to decide if you want to do the job or not. And give up a job it's hard to get these jobs, right? You don't want to just give it up. Hard for me to advise that. I'm not honestly sure what I would do. Like, would I be willing to get burned and get published and start my career? Yeah, I know I would be, but that's me saying that as a 20-year-old that lived in my mother's basement and didn't have bills.
Yeah, those can be our kids. Living in their mother's basement, 20 years old. Not paying bills.
That is. We're working on them though.
Everett says that he'll be out after his university.
Everett?
A year after university. I said, no. I said, when you're done university, get a job, get out. Because I love him so much.
Sounds like love.
Go be independent.
Well, he had buddies who were working out in the other room right up to the beginning of the stream. Actually, we were starting like, hey, how's it going? And I can hear him going,
Nothing like 19-year-olds working out.
I love him to death, but yeah, he can do that in his own place.
Be screaming. Like cavemen.
It's really not an exaggeration.
That's what they do.
Oh, what? The stream cut off again? Why did my streams cut off? Huh. Why you do that? Sorry, let me get the stream back on. Listening to some David Finch channel. Him and his wife Meredith, they be streaming art, and I'm just doing some catch up. So this is the second stream. The most recent one they did. They did a Dracula. Now I'm watching their Wolverine Hulk. Oh yeah, and then they streamed their Wolverine Hulk Part 2 earlier tonight, so I'll probably put that on next. So that way I just kind of get them back to back. Alright. Sorry about that.
Nothing like
Let's get back to it.
working out.
I love him to death, but yeah, he can do that in his own place.
Be screaming. Like cavemen.
It's really not an exaggeration.
That's what they do. And
Every
they're,
day.
yeah.
And I don't have a door on my office. We got walls. I forgot around to get a door. I need to get a door because they are actually getting pretty loud out there.
But you're not usually down here when they're working out. Alright. Brad Scott Art has a super chat for $10. Brad says, Dave is awesome. Miss Meredith rocks. Cheers to patches. Thanks
Thank
so
you
much,
so much.
Brad.
Thank you very much for that. Oh, how long have I been on? I want to zoom in so it shows more, and then I end up drawing off.
Yeah, I don't. Other page, sir. I wasn't paying attention. Somebody said other page, but
Sorry about that.
Hater said that. Sorry, I missed it. These
Okay.
headphones are bugging my head. I conked myself today. I'm gonna have a bruise. Right? I cracked myself right in the forehead. So much that I did cry. Because it hurt so much. You get like that, ouch, and then you're just talking yourself out of it. And
Yeah.
then you just start crying because it really still hurts a lot.
Yeah, I remember being 10.
You're so mean. Such a mean boy. Alright, 591 likes. Can we get up to 600 in the next 15 minutes? I feel like we can. Why don't we go for 650? Can we do 650 in 15 minutes? 491 people watching. Come on, people! Hit that like button! Smash it! Where's Kenny when you need him?
Where is Kenny?
Boop Dealer was working for the likes. Kenny's on here somewhere. He was making fun of my name, calling me Mary Death and
This is here.
Mary the Death and, you know, being mean to me.
I have to admit, I miss people who don't see them here for this, you know? I know people have life.
No, people don't have lives. Their life is to be here with us. It's Monday night. Monday Night Draw with Meredith and Dave. It says everything you need to know. You're hanging with Meredith and Dave. Don't you think?
Yes, thank you.
636 likes, Dave. Just like that. We're so close. We're 14 away. Come on, 14 people here. Maybe I should have said 700. I mean, if I got to 636 in a minute. All right, Tango's laughing. Tango has a super chat for $5. I remember being 10. And there is the total package. Cracking me up.
I love it.
La Panchuria Tota has a super chat for $5. Any video on eye expressions coming up? Having a hard time doing something other than angry.
You know what? Here's the thing. The most popular videos on YouTube for drawing are how to draw eyes. And I know they're not expressions. And what I mean is, I was so afraid to do that because I didn't want to just come on and start like chasing, oh, I think this one's really awesome. So I have not done anything with eyes as a result of that. But I've been doing it for long enough. I can see it.
All right.
Draw eyes by now. So yeah, I think that'd be fun to do. I did do expressions with eyes. But of course on my website, it doesn't go super into depth with it, so I don't want you to, buy it if that's what you're looking for and go, wait a minute, I didn't really get what I was looking for. So I need to think about that a little bit, and I think that is a good idea for tutorial for sure.
You know, hold on. I'm looking for something. Everybody agrees. Spirit Retro says, Meredith, I can confirm my life revolves around the ability to catch Monday Night Draw.
They're just being nice to you.
And then Tom McCart says, Kenny, we need you. You know what I got? I got this, Meredith. Everyone like this video, and I will buy you a Batman Gotham by Gaslight copy. And then he's laughing.
You should probably clarify that. That's not
Doesn't
gonna
mean
happen.
that. Doesn't mean that. Not gonna happen. All right, and then Sheldon says I owe somebody a birthday song, and that's true. I do owe somebody a birthday song. I'm just looking to see who it is.
Okay.
Hold on.
Now let's.
Dennis Kelly. Wolverine versus. This is when I posted on that we're gonna have the stream tonight. Wolverine versus Hulk. That's awesome. My two favorite characters on my birthday. Sweet. So I have to sing Dennis happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Dennis. Happy birthday to you, Dennis. Happy birthday, dear Dennis. Happy birthday to you. Why are you shaking your head?
All I'm thinking is, man, you guys get to shut this off at the end of it.
I gotta go to bed with you.
Yeah.
It's true. At least I don't sing in my sleep.
No, that's true.
Tony Red has a super chat for $10. Hey, Mr. Finch. Even though I'm getting into a trade, I still contemplate a career in comics. But it doesn't seem practical. Which route is better for a newcomer? Professional or independent?
Mm. Eh, okay, in terms of practicality, um, it is not practical in the way that a trade is practical. I mean, it's a career. It's a real job. It can pay really well. It can be very rewarding. It's been great for me, but um, it's a tough go, you know. And I feel like I would be doing a disservice if I wasn't being honest about the fact that it's not going to be for everybody, and um, you have to put a ton of work into it. It takes a ton of time, and it takes a lot of heartache and rejection, and it's hard, you know. So yeah, getting a trade, I mean, you can't beat that. Certainly over some of the degrees that you can get, it can be very difficult to get a job with a trade. I think is phenomenal. So you know, I can't argue with that at all. In terms of professional versus independent, you know what? If you can get a job working for Marvel DC or at one of the bigger companies, um, you really can't beat that either. First of all, they pay, you know, which is nice, and they pay on time. You don't have to worry about where your check is going to come from and if you're going to get stiffed, and you know a lot of those kinds of things can happen if you're working independently. So there's a lot of security that comes with it. You have access to a broader audience. I mean, it's there are advantages for sure. I would prefer it. I know. Um, I think that working independently, like doing your own thing, is a really great thing once you build up a name. If you've worked for Marvel and DC for a while, you build up a name. Like Tyler Kirkham, what's that? Yes. Tyler Kirkham is doing his book right now, but you know he built up a name at both Marvel and DC for years. Yeah, if you can do that, you can't beat it. You really can't. Um, but you know there are artists out there that make incredible careers going completely the independent route. But you know, both of them, both ways of going, have advantages and disadvantages and challenges. The biggest disadvantage of working for a mainstream company is you don't own anything. You know?
So Dave,
Yes.
I have to say happy birthday again. First of all, it wasn't Sheldon, it was Nick from Detroit who reminded me that I had to sing happy birthday. So thank you, Nick. And I also have to sing happy birthday to Charles Petrie because Charles is the big 5-0 tomorrow.
5-0, that is ancient.
So yeah, because you'll be that
50
next year.
months.
So here we go. This is another happy birthday version for Charles. Happy 50th birthday to 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 Charles tomorrow. And many more. Who's that?
How many more can there be? I mean, 50.
Another 50.
I can't believe I'm going to be 52.
Not 52, but 50
I'm going to be 50
as
also.
well.
Yeah.
As well. All right. Happy birthday, Charles. Hope you have
Yeah, happy birthday. I think to myself too, like, people retire at 55. A lot of people, and I mean, I have so little time. Like, I don't know what I would do if I had to like stop that fast. Or 65. That would only give me 15 more years. That is not enough time. Never want to stop.
I know that's it. I can just keep spending the money.
Great. Go in.
I'm just kidding.
There was a Marvel or a Mad Magazine artist.
He just passed away.
Just passed away.
You told me about it this week in the car on the way
I was
home.
just talking about
On
him.
Saturday.
But you know what? I sit here on the stream in my mind. I have a whole book of his work, and I'm a huge fan. And I'm not going to think of it because you guys know how I am.
I'm gonna Google it.
Anyway, he was late 80s or even 90. He was very, very old, and he announced his retirement and passed away within a couple of months.
More Drucker?
No,
Yeah, more Drucker was 91. He died Wednesday in his New York home.
just this Wednesday.
Oh, that was April of 2020. I don't know who it was then.
Well, Mark Rucker was incredible, and I did
know who it was.
You know, it doesn't matter. Point is, and more trucker, you did it the right way too, you know? Keep working forever, and then fall over when you're done. I don't want to stop.
We did it. We hit 700 likes. We're at 705.
Well, thank you very much for the question.
That's awesome.
All right.
And Eliza goes says, just subbed a minute ago. That means you got another subscriber.
Thank you, Eliza. All right.
Are you done? You're done your
I'm done.
movie?
I know I have a lot more to go, but hopefully. Yeah, I have a lot more to go. So that'll be next week. We're going to be doing Dracula, or
Oh, wow. Okay.
it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't believe it's been a year since the last Halloween run. It's crazy. So yeah, that should be fun.
I have one more super chat from Vion Overroy. Vion says, hey, amazing drawing. Keep it up. Thank you for the super chat, Vion.
Thank you very much. And then the week after, we'll come back to this and finish it up and get it out there for charity. And I wish I could just rattle it off, but I want to make sure to get it right. It is the Angela Rose House, owned by the Sisters of the Holy Names of Jesus and Mary. It's a transition residence to provide short-term support to new refugees in Canada. And it's a great charity. It's something that they've been doing for quite a while and helping a lot of families. So hopefully we can do our part and help. So yeah, this will be going up for Rock. All right.
Awesome. We will see you guys next week for Dracula.
Next week for Dracula. Some of you, hopefully I'll see you in Toronto. I'm going to be there, I think, is it 4 days?
Will you be sketching in Toronto?
I will be sketching in Toronto, yeah. I'll be drawing. And yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
I swear, I feel like I'm forgetting something.
You need to play the outro.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Is that what you're forgetting?
No, but I'll never remember. Maybe next time.
All right, everybody have a great week. We will see you next week on the stream.
All right, good night, everyone. Again, you have to. There
This
we
is
go.
the Comedy Bears.
Gotta do it.
Show your body. Show your strength. Show your edge. Show your killer hair. Show yourself. Hair biology designed to work with your hair as you age.
Invisalign.
All right, we're live.
We're live.
Thank you everyone for coming. Hope everybody had a great Halloween yesterday.
Mwah,
You trying to read something? Here's me.
Thank you.
Our youngest went out for his last Halloween. He was a huge dinosaur, a big blow-up dinosaur, and I think it got a tear.
Actually, an actual disaster, that one.
Was it? Well, he got candy, so.
The dinosaur didn't fully inflate, so the head kept flopping down so you couldn't see. So I tried to fix it with an elastic,
Yeah.
which broke within the first 5 houses. So Granddad had to walk behind him and hold the head up. They made it literally 1 block and 3 houses before Isaac went full-on claustrophobic. Came back to the house, huffing and puffing, hyperventilating because he couldn't breathe.
Well, you know what? Maybe,
Truly an Isaac Finch Halloween.
maybe the costume was trying to tell us.
No, that's pretty much how
The
Halloween
kid's 13
goes.
years old. It's all over.
That's how Halloween goes for Isaac. It's how life goes for you. He's the mini you,
Yeah,
Dave.
he really is. So, before I got on, Tobagart asked me if I had my Tyler Kirkham Final Boss Masters of Air t-shirt, and I totally
And
forgot.
he
So I
didn't.
ran upstairs, I thought it even kind of see as Masters of Air. Pretty sure this lights up in the dark, too.
Are you maybe seriously?
So there you go.
It lights up in the dark. Take my word for it.
Yeah. I'm not going to shut the lights off.
You need one,
And I'm actually
is what we're saying.
That's right. It's certainly the book. It's a phenomenal book. Wolverine and I sketched in Hulk and Wendigo at the bottom. I've got a lot of work to do this
Wendigo?
time. Yeah,
He's in the cover too?
yeah, here.
Oh, good golly, we're gonna be here all night.
But they're all drawn in, so it should go like this is
Should go like gang,
time off right in the beginning.
go like
So I'm just gonna
gangbusters.
start. By the way, Comic Art is starting at
Atomic Art was in the grocery store, and he's still watching. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I know he is starting a Cuber school. This is where we're at. I'm more fascinated by the fact that he went to the grocery store. You're more fascinated by the fact he's going to Cuber school.
Right. We have Liz Moy here, and Jenna Bessie's here, Eric Rose is here. Actually, Eric, I'm in trouble with Eric right now.
Tell me somebody you're not in trouble with.
I know, it's actually the thing with my life.
Constantly.
But Eric, we were supposed to draw yesterday. I fell asleep at 7:30 last night, and yeah, I'm sorry, Eric. Sorry.
He clearly needed to catch up.
I was a wreck. Meredith was complaining that I was grumpy, and that's really when I'm grumpy. That's always what it is. I'm just not.
That or he hasn't taken his pill.
You know the pill, man.
Well, take your pill, and then I won't bring it up.
You know, there are secrets you have that I'm going to start throwing out here.
Throw it out. I got no secrets. I'm an open book.
I'll find something.
If there's a secret, I pretty much told the street. So there you go. So we have company tonight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so there's news. I went to Meredith's parents' house. Took up a doorknob for my door on Monday.
Because he has a door in his office.
Right. And I need to get that. And so.
With the key. I just want to say this. With the key. I'm like, you are absolutely going to lose the key to that door. And then you're going to lock yourself out of your office.
Right.
For sure that's going to happen, people.
I'm
For
sure.
sure.
I haven't locked the door yet.
Just don't lock the window so we can break in.
I don't know when I'll lock it. Whatever. Anyway, point being, when I was at Meredith's parents' place, they've got 2 cats. We were talking about cats and talking about how we were missing patches, and we weren't really going to get another cat. And
Meredith actually said firmly, we are not getting another cat. Firmly, I said
You
that.
can't replace a cat.
I cannot. Patches was one of a kind.
So I figured, heck of it, I'm just going to go buy a cat and not tell Meredith, and then just bring it home. And I knew how she'd react, which is exactly how she reacted. She started swearing, she got all upset. But,
The F-bomb might have been dropped.
yes, it was not just my own. But, yeah, I mean, the cat's great.
So yeah, we have another cat.
And actually, Meredith's parents, so they said they would come with me on Wednesday. We would go pick up the cat. And I had no idea. They went on Tuesday. They picked out the cat without me. And
Filled out the paperwork.
filled out the paperwork, and then I showed up with the kids. I wanted the kids to be able to help pick. And so I thought, okay, well, that's fine. You picked out a cat, but I'm still going to pick the cat that we like. Well, it turned out to be the cat they liked. It has been so far a great cat. Not Patches.
Oh, the stream cut off again? Oh, okay. It's just doing a commercial. Alright. I was about to say, man.
Anyway,
Might be a little soon. But then he just snuggles up to you and purrs
So,
and
we were trying to think of a name. It's a female cat. So we were thinking of superhero names. I came up with Wanda. Nobody else liked Wanda. You still don't like her. Well, actually, we're there for that conversation.
nobody's calling cat Wanda.
Okay, anyway, I still like her.
Dear Wanda.
We went through a bunch of names. Finally, we ended up with Stormy, and it was Storm. Everett said Storm, and I said, well, maybe Stormy, and so anyway, we got Stormy. And turns out the cat's a boy. Yeah, but it's still Stormy. So
Yeah, there you go.
We have a cat.
And there's a caveat to the story because only Dave could buy a cat like this. There was somebody went to PetSmart. So if any of you've been to PetSmart, you have a PetSmart like place in the States. And they have all the cats and dogs available for adoption behind glass. So somebody's in there and Dave's trying to talk to the person that
on signs. And so I just started signing at her. 'Cause it's so frustrating. I know she can't understand me, but I'm like, come on. I'm trying to talk. She can't hear me. So I'm signing, I want to buy a cat.
And then my mom says, I'm pretty sure that's a cleaning lady. I'm just gonna go get Ben. He's the one we talked to yesterday. Dave was trying to buy a cat from the lady in there cleaning the cages. And I would laugh harder, except that I've laughed.
Oh man, I forgot to do the skin again.
Because I'm like, of course that's how Dave buys a cat. And then I beat my pants the second time I told the story. Because of course that's how Dave buys a cat. He buys it, tries to buy it from the cleaning lady. Too funny. Alright, I suppose I should start reading super chats. Indie Comics Cast has a super chat for $4.99. Thanks for always showing up. I appreciate what you guys do for the community, Joe.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. And Darren Art has a super chat for $5. Thanks for the videos. Going to be watching your perspective tips video after this tonight. I DM'd some art on Instagram and would love art of you if you get a chance.
All right,
See what you could do.
I will definitely see.
I'm not making promises because Dave, as we just said, is making enemies left, right, and center because he does not live up to any of his commitments. So that's a possibly, maybe might happen. But don't count on it.
Yeah, my problem is I'm on Instagram maybe once a week.
And he's also super slam busy right now.
I was so glad to get that video out, and thank you. I will say, okay, look, for my part, I'm happy with it. I watched it. I know it's bloated, it's too long, but it's a perspective video. I hacked out. There's a panel at the beginning that I hacked out so badly. It looks not good, but I really wanted to show how to draw perspective from scratch at the beginning. I felt like the video's not going to really. If I just show here's how you can cheat, I didn't think it would be as good. So I put it in there. I really thought about figuring it out, but it's just too much. And I thought, heck with it, put it in, be a long video, have a feeling that some people will watch it and go, yeah.
There we go.
But, in the end, I want to put out the best videos that I can and make them as useful as I can. And if that means it's not as super fast paced as they can be, well, it is what it is.
So Samuel Timothy says, hi Dave, I'm a new subscriber and I love all your videos. You are the best. Sorry I couldn't send a super chat.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome to the stream, Samuel.
Thank you.
And then we have a super chat from Jamal Rashid. It's for $4.99. Jamal says, hello, Finch family. Stopping by to say hello, and may the Lord continue to bless your gifts and talents and family. Hashtag sow and seed. Thank you so much, Jamal.
Thank you very much. And
So
God bless
kind.
you.
God bless you. Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $4.99. Michael says, for Meredith, sorry for posting every day with Inktober stuff on Finch Clock. Wanted to thank you for the platform to post. Michael, don't you apologize. I have been loving all of the Inktoberfest stuff. We should be apologizing, quite frankly.
Yes.
I think we gave 3 suggestions.
I know.
But the 3 suggestions, you guys killed it. You killed it.
Yeah. And actually, Michael, I never did see a script. And so, if you'd still like to do that, I'd love to. Talking about that last week.
Jenny F. says, my cat's name is Stormy, too. He's a beautiful gray cat.
And see, ours is gray.
Yeah, he's gray. He's got gray and white, but he's got a little bit of orange as an homage to Patches. You didn't notice that, eh? Like, right where the gray blends into his white, there's like a little bit of orange in his fur.
Well, look, he does look quite a bit like Patches.
Not quite a bit. He doesn't look like Patches at all, but.
Okay, well, quite a bit more than the other cat we were looking at.
Oh, because you're looking at black cats.
So she was very nice, but
And Stormy's not a tortoiseshell. There's a very big difference between a tabby and a tortoiseshell. Which is what
I'll be
Patches
honest with you, it's a cat.
I know, cat's cat.
I love cats. I hate to admit it. You know what I mean? Rather say, whatever, it's a cat.
You want a cat. You want a cat so badly you went and got another cat. I didn't want a cat that badly.
I can't fake it anymore.
You loved the cat and you were sad and you just wanted another cat.
Well, look, I wanted another cat. I knew you wouldn't just go get one.
No, I was not going to get one.
And
I figured one would show up eventually, and I was right. I was right. One did show up. Not the way I expected it to show up, but one did show up. Page One Comics, Jimmy Reyes says, I refuse to say Stormy as a grown man. This new cat shall now be called Storm. Storm in my manly voice.
We considered that. You know, when we found that it was a boy, we thought, well,
Yeah.
it's called Storm.
But by then I was already calling it Stormy, and so too bad for all you guys.
So I've got a buddy that plays adult league hockey, and he's in the 15 over league. He's a year older than me, so if I had any athletic ability at all, I'd be in over league next year too. But I don't, so I don't play hockey. But all of his buddies, all these guys, they've been playing hockey their whole life, which is another reason why I would never want to try. And they're all like Scarfy, and I can't remember any of the names.
Smitty.
Yeah, they're all. Every single one of them is something with a Y.
Yeah, so there you go. So,
Yeah.
Stormy.
Figured they can get away with it. It'd be Stormy, Jimmy.
That's right.
And Jimmy.
Jimmy says the guy whose name ends with an E sound. Why actual, but
If I forget.
yeah, that's right. Antoine Washington has a super chat for $1.99. Antoine says, hey, Dave and Meredith, glad to be with you all. Thanks for being with us, Antoine. We'll see you for a few weeks. Glad to have you here this week.
Famous turkey? It's gonna be great.
All right. Where's my ink brush?
It is Kevin Mandel has a super chat for $9.99. Kevin says,
There you are.
Happy Monday, Finches! Meredith, are you currently working on anything new? P.S. Name the cat Ripclaw and call it a day, David.
Rippy. That's not so bad, Rippy.
But it's Stormy now.
It's too late, but yeah, that could have worked.
I'm glad we didn't ask for your advice, Ken.
I would have went with it.
I would not have.
I would have got voted out, so it doesn't matter,
That
but
doesn't matter. Yeah. And I am currently working on something which I'm not going to talk about. But actually, Kevin, thank you for the question because it's a good segue into the fact that there's a Kickstarter starting on Thursday, courtesy of Cave Pictures Publishing, who will be putting out a Kickstarter for Fantasties, which is the last project I worked on for them. So written by me, art. The first few issues are done by Christine Nori, and the rest of the issues will be done by Andrew.
Oh,
McCoy.
sorry.
It's going to be a
Uh-oh.
beautiful
Let's
book, an incredible story.
refocus. Sorry about that.
Adaptation of
Bumping
Jordan
the
Bell.
bumping the old camera.
Not at all like The Light Princess, though, which was the other adaptation I did for Cave Pictures. So yeah, that'll be out on Thursday.
yeah, with two incredible artists. It's too bad that Christine wasn't able to.
She just with COVID because they had to stop.
Right, and she had to move on to other
She had to
things.
move on.
But she was phenomenal, and Andrew McCoy not only is really great, but also a really great guy. So
I love Andrew.
yeah, I think
It's so funny because we talked about, like I talked to Andrew in New York a couple of years ago. We were looking for an artist for Fantasties, and I would have gone with Andrew from the beginning, but he really wanted to like explore some other options. And the fact that Andrew's working the book now just shows me that all things come about as they're meant to, and I really feel like we said at the time we were going to work on a project together, and here we are, working on that project together, and I just feel incredibly grateful. So, because he is a great artist and a fantastic person, so much fun. Just good. Johnny D has a super chat. So anyway, check out that Kickstarter on Thursday. Cave Pictures Publishing, Fantasties, George McDonald, adapted by Watt. All right, Johnny D has a super chat for $5. Dave, what was the title of the first comic you ever illustrated? Also, I will give you $50 if you can. Oh no, I'm not gonna read the rest of that.
we're gonna have to forego the $50.
Yeah, we're gonna forego that $50. No. Nobody has a pass to use that word. Alright. So what was the first comic you ever illustrated?
The first comic I ever drew the whole thing up was Recall 1/2. So it was a half a comic, but it was my first solo book. I did the cover, all the artwork for it. It was not a comic store book. It was actually Wizard magazine, which was a really big deal at the time to get that. And so you could get it with a copy of Wizard. And we also were giving them away at conventions, that kind of thing. So that was my first real thing. And my first comic that I had that the way we worked, when we started at Talk Cow, I did some pinups. Those got published in some different pinup books. I did some backgrounds. My first was Cyber Force #6. And I did some pencil finishes on over Brandon Peterson on Strike Force. But my first actual comic to be in a comic store was the Cyber Force Annual #1. And that was actually written by Brandon Peterson. It was a good story.
So the left hand is the pink one.
All right.
Right hand is the green
Yeah.
one.
Should really write more. Very multi-talented. He actually inked me on a few things too. Just to help out. I mean, he's not an inker. He's a
He's a nice
phenomenal artist. I mean, and he was, by the way, when he inked me, I was truly nobody. I was just starting out. He was very supportive, and we had a deadline issue. We just needed help, and Brandon put down what he was doing. He was behind his own stuff, but he had the extra week. By which I mean that his was going to be late in a week, But he still, he set aside what he was doing, and he inked a page of Cyber Force, which, was really amazing to see. I learned a lot from it.
I think Ariel Olivetti might be on stream tonight. Sheldon Martin says, Ariel Olivetti, hey dude.
I see it says Ariel Olivetti is really nice. Thank you so much, Ariel, and thank you so much for coming and saying hi. I really appreciate you being here. It's really great. I think, to this day, the biggest dream I've ever had, actually, I know to this day, the biggest dream I've ever had was when we were fortunate enough to get Ariel onto
Paint, yes.
It's amazing. I would love to be again.
All right, let's get this in before I try to figure out something else.
Sorry, my screen blipped. I know I'm like, radio silence. Oh no!
Oh no, what? Oh no.
Mayor Jay says, Meredith, it's too late to change the cat's name to Creepy. It is too late.
Yeah, that means you.
Creepy? Nobody wants to go around going, hey, creepy, 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 creepy. Nobody's doing that.
So I got a bunch of recommendations last week for some horror movies.
Did you watch any of them?
No. It's on the other side of this. Hang on. Let's see. I saw The Devil, Trick or Treat, or Wreck. It's the Spanish version. So, no, I haven't had a chance. It's just been so busy. And I was going to watch it today because I really wanted to be able to talk about it this week. But I had stuff I had to record for Coco, some intro stuff. Hi, welcome to the lesson on whatever. And it takes me so long to do those because if I'm just talking, I'm okay. But if I have to read the script, it takes me like 10 tries each line. So that was kind of what I did today. But yeah, by next week, I'm dying to watch it too. I watched F1 from last weekend. This week, I watched it late. Max Verstappen came in pretty strong. My favorite is Daniel Ricciardo, and he was fifth, which is a good finish for him. Nobody cares. I know.
Nobody cares. Page 1 comments. I saw Beirut Goat. Beirut Goat has said, Dave, I want to see you draw another Spawn. And he tagged Jimmy because he thought Jimmy we would read Jimmy's comment more than his comment. But I did see it. But you already drew Spawn on stream.
I did, but you know what?
You can go back and watch it.
There is going to be a time when I'm going to run out of characters.
And then go back and draw Spawn.
Somebody, and I apologize, I know it's one of you that I know well, recommended Ripclaw and the Wildstorm. I don't want to say version of Ripclaw, but a very similar character. I just forgot the names. Anyway, that one's going to be coming up pretty soon. My youngest, who went out with the dinosaur costume for Halloween, wants me to draw Spider-Man as the first Avenger. What if Spider-Man is the first Avenger? I've seen a bunch
edition of Psylocke. Is that right? So next week is Psylocke. The week after, he's gonna draw Spider-Man for Isaac, because Isaac will badger us. Well, we'll see. He may forget.
Oh yeah, he'll totally forget.
He'll forget, and then he will come up with something else. Waiter Shush has a super chat for $5. Hello, Hater. Hater says, hello, Finches. Finished all 31 days for my daily October art prompts. Loved some, hated some. What's the latest on Dave's creator on work? Hater.
Okay.
There's talk you might see it sooner than later. Dave's gonna bang it out. He's going from, instead of being double page size, he's gonna go to 50%.
Yeah, no. Look, it's coming along. I'm working away on it. I'm doing the best that I can. That's really all I can say right now.
You all wanna see it. It's amazing.
I would love to see it out.
Alright. Oh, Grindy had a super chat that was deleted for $2. It's a pleasure. Creative Genius says, so I watched a lot of your videos. This is the first stream I attended. I love the tutorials you put out. Amazing stuff, man.
Thank you very, very much, and thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us while we draw this live. I apologize, I'm kind of struggling right now. Sad.
Lucas Yenny says, no audio cutout yet. I know, Lucas. It's a miracle tonight.
I know. I worked on it. Hopefully, it's not famous last word before the cutout.
Knock on wood, somebody. Knock, knock,
But
knock.
I was recording earlier today. I cut out on me, of course. And when I turned it on this time, it didn't. I turned it on an hour before we started today. It didn't cut out. I actually had to reboot my computer. I couldn't get it to recognize the microphone. Whatever. Anyway, I rebooted. It still hasn't cut out. My thinking right now is that it cuts out when it's too cold. So hopefully that's true, and it will not cut out.
Yours cuts it when it's too cold, too. Thank goodness. Because it's cold here right now. I have the heat vest.
On right now.
Not on right now, but I was outside all day and it was cold, and I didn't really feel cold till my battery died in my heat vest. And I was like, but I also don't have my fleece pants on. I'm still in jeans. When it gets really cold, like zero cold, I start wearing my fleece pants.
Yeah.
You cannot. Everybody needs a pair of fleece pants.
I need it. You know what? For
You need them for your motorcycle.
I was out on a motorcycle yesterday for a good part of the day, and man, I was cold, but it was cold.
Cause your nose dread, try soothing pus plus lotion instead.
Nice.
You wouldn't have been cold if you had a pair of fleece riding pants.
No, my buddy does actually. Nancy's got.
He probably wasn't anymore.
Was.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he was cozy then.
Was.
See? There you go.
You're old at it.
Henry has provided me with the words for the Book of the Week song, so now I have them. I'll save them. I have to save.
All right.
I don't know how notes work. Does notes automatically save? I've never used notes before.
When you said Ariel already commented, I was hoping that he was going to say, "Oh, I would love to do it on the screen."
Well, I'm sure he would. If he did say that, I only need so many comments.
Ariel, we're going to pass you again.
In the next summer. Meredith will take the summer off.
I can't wait for it. We, by the way, and actually, I noticed some of you guys were talking about
Let's
this.
start getting
Before we
that.
started, Eric and I are going to be doing a tone paper drawing.
Yeah, I saw Eric not subtly hinting
Yeah.
as he posted his practice, quote unquote.
Right. Well, anyway, that's coming up next week. And we were going to pack.
Oh, it's coming up next week?
We were
So
gonna
I don't have to be here next week?
Oh, stop it. Not on Monday. It's an extra stream. What do you want?
I just told people that you are busy.
I am
So
busy.
busy you couldn't even respond to their Instagram DMs
I know. You know
to
what?
look at their art.
I know. And I am in this group. I'm very busy. There are some things just have to be done, and I'm dying to do this. And also, Eric and I have not. We haven't done a stream. I'd like to do this too.
It's not good, Mom. I'm already yawning. It's only 8:30.
If we don't do the stream, Eric and I soon, you're gonna end up going to somebody else's stream forever.
No. No. You guys know.
Okay.
You guys. Danny Brown has a super chat for $5. Danny says, "How do I contact you for commission work? I have a picture of my son, and I would love for you to draw him. Or I'd love for you to draw him." So Dave is closed for commissions right now, but if you want to get on his commission list, give me contact our www.comicsketcher.com. Attention Mandy. She is in charge of his commission list. So if it opens up, and he's doing commissions at conventions, if you go to conventions next year.
Whew.
Yeah, and it will at some point.
All right.
It's been closed the whole year. It's been closed for years.
It's been closed for a while.
But I am working through them, and we are getting to the point where
So let's see how this goes.
It's getting there. What I don't want to do also is, and I've done this before, and I always regret it when it happens, and I know anybody that's gotten on a commission list with me has regretted it too, is just commit to things that I don't have time to be able to do for, too long
It's
a
down
time.
to the top.
And then holding somebody on a commission list that long is not fair. It's already not fair with how long people have been waiting this is.
Yeah, so there you go. Antoine, that's why we say Mary says no. No. Antoine Washington has a super chat for $1.99. Antoine says, wants to know, what do you do with the drawings when you're done?
These ones, this one here actually, and thank you, Antoine, for bringing that up for this one. This one is actually for charity. It's through a church charity, and it's for immigrant families new to Canada that need a place to live, and a place that is positive for their children. It's for families with children, and so it provides housing and resources for the kids. And I'll be doing pretty soon, and we haven't finalized the date or anything. Actually, I need to get back. Another thing that I'm late on, but I'm going to be doing a draw along with them, which I think will be a lot of fun.
So there's
And we're
one.
going to be auctioning this one off for the charity. Last week, and I had all the information from the charity last week. It's on my phone. I don't know where my phone is again. But when it gets posted, I will certainly have all the charity information. And I think selling it on this one. A lot of other ones, like next week's is going to be a commission.
I might just sell it through the blog page.
Okay, whatever. I don't know.
I'll put it on the blog page.
Whatever.
Or Facebook. I use eBay.
Skip one over and skip one over. And actually, something interesting I'm just noticing for the first time. They have feathers hanging off of the edge of these braids.
Your art dealer is essential sequential.
Yes. Essential.
Yeah. So Russ Hicks just
So
super
I'll
chatted
have
for
to
$10.
do
Russ
that.
says, I owe you guys. Ask Eric. What? I don't know.
Russ, you know,
I don't even know.
We owe Russ.
Oh, there you go. And on a totally different topic, Ariel Olivetti, okay,
Yes.
says, yes!
You heard it here. You heard it here. You heard it here first.
Are you sure you can talk right now? You're so excited that you can't even talk right now.
That was such an incredible stream. It was great, and I had so many questions. And actually, Ariel also does some oil with this stuff too, and it was really something that we could maybe ask. I have questions.
And Dan
That's my point.
DeSantos is on.
Oh, no.
You know, Dan, the guy whose class you took, but you never show up to. Dan says, haha, I'd love to see Ariel do part 2. So, there you go. Hey, Dan, you heard me say that Dave overcommits. Did I say that?
Yeah, I know.
Overcommits. You know what they say about the road to hell? It's paved with good intentions.
But I did get, actually, and this should help with the channel too, I got a drawing tablet that I can hook up to the computer. And so I'd like to do, it finally showed out a couple of days ago. I'd like to do some stuff with that. And some
Oh, sorry.
And I
try
last
to
week,
get that straight. Are we focused?
this Thursday,
Are we
I'm not
focused?
gonna miss
There
Meredith.
we go.
I'll have my stuff ready to go.
Oh no, how am I gonna do this? With all this already rendered out black in the
Jimmy
way.
says, when I said I wasn't gonna come, Jimmy says, no, Meredith cannot miss a stream if there's no Meredith, I'm not watching. And he
I think
says,
he's
okay, I might stay.
As long as Arian said.
Yeah. Or Eric.
Or, well, of course.
Anybody but Meredith gets to watch. You could have the new Storm, you could have Stormy host.
This is why nobody likes cat people.
That's
See things
right.
like that.
Alright,
Alright, so I'm gonna let that dry, and in the meantime,
Alan has a super chat for 99 cents. Alan, I do not say comment. So, tag me if you had a question or a comment. And, oh, there it is. Dave, watch his DMs on Instagram. That's what Alan says. Alan De Leon says watch his. So go to that guy. Look at your DMs. He's saying.
Okay.
He super chatted you to say look at your DMs.
Okay.
DM dum.
Okay, I will try. DMs are hard because
There's so many of them.
and you have DMs that like, you have to let people through. Like you accept
You
it.
have to accept. Yeah.
The problem is in my just general one, there are
5,000 people.
more than 1,000, and I can't. It's, yeah.
DM Meredith.
Yeah.
That's
There you go.
probably better.
Yeah, that's actually much more effective.
alright, I'm gonna let that dry some more
Seriously, it's okay. I know you're busy, Dave. DM Meredith.
while
Okay?
yeah, I'll just ink the pattern
And
in
that actually always works. I always end up seeing
on the
Meredith
gray.
shows him stuff all the time.
And then by the time I'm done doing that, it should be done and dry for me to do my thing.
I know Tom is.
Nobody else finds that disturbing. Dave, are you close to done with season 1 of the sketchbook? Tom McCart wants to know, Dave, have you turned in the art to Jason so he can release the Kickstarter of your sketchbook?
Oh yeah, I turned it in. It's all good. It's going.
Did you?
No.
Could you please do that?
Yes. You know what? I really thought
I asked you to do that this weekend.
I know. I thought I got through so much stuff today, and I did. Like this is part of the problem. I've got my work that I have to do, and then I have like errand type things like that that just need to get done.
Ready to go.
I went through so many things. today.
Kickstarter is ready to go.
Okay. I'll have it done first thing in the morning.
Promise? I'm gonna text myself.
Okay.
I'm setting an alarm.
All right.
I'm setting an alarm, Tomic.
You know what? I feel like this brush is not working very well for me right now. I can't get any details, so I'm just gonna block in some bigger stuff. Sometimes I can get a lot of details. You can see I was just blurping out.
Blurping out.
Yeah, well, it was splitting, so I squeezed it, and now it's just.
I'm saying send cover for sketchbook, Dave. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. That's when you all take off. And I better put an alarm on it. Alert. At time of event.
All right, that's great.
So, hopefully that doesn't work. Best thing I can
Okay.
think of as a
God
super
damn.
chat for $2.
Armature's getting in the way.
How do you approach drawing animals?
You think about that for just a second while I just kind of throw in a little bit more. I just want to get done with this brush. Just take me a second.
Okay, same thing here. So there.
And because I want to show you, but before I do that, I'm going to say animals are very difficult. And the thing that makes them so, there are a couple of things. One of the big ones is for artists like me that are so trained by looking at comics, and I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you right now and say that I learned how to draw from looking at comics. I didn't learn how to draw from looking at life or anything respectable. I learned from comics because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a comic artist. I wasn't, especially when I was young, I wasn't thinking to myself, gee, So yeah, so the point of me saying that though is that not many comic artists draw animals. You know, you can find it here and there, but you're not going to find a ton of like image comics, cool, super awesome animal poses with crazy anatomy. And since that is so much how I learned, I hate to admit that it's something that I've neglected for years, and I've really been working on now, trying to get better with it. And okay,
All right.
show you guys.
Let's hope that that white paint is dry enough
I showed this, I think, a
for
couple
me to
weeks ago,
throw
but
down
I'm just gonna
some
draw. So okay, here's
feather
a
colors down here.
human's chest.
All right.
Here's my arm wall, the rib cage, stomach comes here, and your pelvis is here, just like this. And obviously your
All
legs
right.
come
I already threw one layer of white on the hair, so
off. Is much wider
get
up,
some of
so your
that in
arm,
there,
one arm would be here, the other arm would be here, your head would be here.
especially here on the
On
main
an animal,
braid.
it's much more like this. So the head would
So
be
much
here,
sketch lines
and you have
in
a cylinder
here,
like this. So
just because it's in the middle
this
of all
would
the
be more
squares
like this.
that I draw from.
And your armholes would be kind of here, except that with the way that animals work, drawing an armhole really, it doesn't work. What you have to do is you really have to draw on a human, you draw the back. And so here's my back, really poorly drawn, I know, but here's my shoulder, my arm comes out here, and you have your scapula here, avoiding all the anatomy, but that's how your back attaches, your arm attaches on the back with your scapula. On a horse, or really any animal, your arm would start kind of here, this scapula is up here. Like this,
Scapula.
on the back.
That's what it's called.
And this would be
I always call it the
elbow,
shoulder blade. It's called the scapula.
and your foot. And then the back is kind of like from the side, it's just, you could draw it as a rectangle, like this, kind of angled like this. So, and I'm going to do that. And so it's a little bit like this, and then your leg comes out from here. And so, and obviously that's, and you can see how uncomfortable I am drawing this stuff, just how far my proportions are falling from where they should be. And it's because I just don't have the benchmarks that I need to be able to, this is a horrible, horrible horse. And if I did this more, it would just floor my pencil. But because I don't, it's really not. And so I'm learning, but it's been a bit of a process. I'm finding I'm actually getting pretty good if I'm using reference and being able to pick out, anatomy and being able to find what I need to draw a pretty decent animal. But just out of my head, and I need to practice this. The problem is that, there's so many, and you guys know this, there are so many things to practice, and it's all about, well, so many, and because I'm drawing every day and I'm working, I also have to do the work that I'm working on. And I'm also finding it's been hard. I don't know. Animals, I'm having a hard time memorizing all the anatomy the way that it's supposed to go. Because it is different proportionally than humans. But yeah, that's
There we
the
go.
basic real difference. There are some incredible resources out there. One of these days for the book of the week, I need to do some books on animals. They're really, really good and kind of go through them. I think I don't really touch on it much because you can see how.
All right, I think that's going to be it. Since I have no idea what goes on with the hair and the ribbons up here, I think they just kind of end there.
Comes from Tegamo Model Works for $5. Tag says, I just want to say hi. Really love seeing you, Dave, and hearing Meredith. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Tag.
Thanks, Tag.
You have entered nickname territory with Meredith.
No, he says Tag when he.
Does he?
Yeah, since last stream, like last year's stream. So there you
You
go.
never called me Tag.
Well, because when I read the super chat, it says Tagmo, but then he said Tag last year, so that's what I call him.
Well, there you go, Tag. You have entered.
Dream Restore is officially banned. No Meredith streams are the best. That's it. Dream Restore's done.
Oh. Yeah.
I feel like he's just like angling for the band though, so I'm not gonna give him the band.
You never give anybody a band.
Well, but
All right. Fuck it, just throw some ribbons in there, right?
Puffs plus lotion instead.
I mean, the shit has to go somewhere.
John C says Meredith Finch, I super chatted a request from David.
Okay, yeah, so that's gonna be all I can do with that down there. Oh well, it's a feather. I'll remember that. Usually won't forget mistakes. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the stream since it took a hot minute, but I'm glad I drew it really big. I was contemplating making it just one square like I did over here, but for over here, I guess it's like less detail for the most part. Like I was gonna get all the detail elsewhere, as far as like these amulets are all here, and then the hairnet. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to really do too much with it. So this one, it probably just needed to be done that way.
Ween Toad says, I find Meredith talking in third person a little strange, but I wouldn't say disturbing.
So just wondering if I feel like I need to do more, but I feel like if I render this out more, it's not gonna look right. Like her hair is gonna change. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I don't feel like I threw a lot of green in there, but I did throw a lot of green in there in order to really break these things up. And yeah, I kind of wanted to avoid that this time. That was the whole point, is to make it a little bit easier to see. But yeah, I guess it does. Once it all connects right about here at our waistline, it all just starts to look like corn on the cob for the most part, which is dope. I like it. But yeah, it is what it is, man. So yeah, let's call it at that.
Ascension. It's a long time ago. It did really well.
All right, man. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. So I'm G Mr. Drew. It's at G Mr. Drew on all socials. Follow, like, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I just really appreciate you guys for watching this one. It's 5:30 in the morning, so I'm not gonna have any more time to do another one. And
But you know what? When something does well, you don't go in for it. You have a second where you look at it. It's great.
so yeah,
You're happy.
let's
And then the next thing that you do is go, wow. Now.
yeah, man, let's just call it at that. I'll be back tomorrow, and to figure out what I want to do with these last couple of squares here, I imagine it's gonna have something to do with the front end and her abdomen area for sure, to kind of detail what's happening here. I could do her sleeves, but her sleeves are pretty much well broken down, within all of this. That's why I kind of wanted to get the arms in this one a little bit. Just because it's like, all right, I got a decent understanding of the sleeves. But we'll see. Other than that, man, again, just can't thank y'all enough. Love y'all. Good night.
As many likes on Instagram, they freak out now.